Baseball has long been touted as America's favorite pastime. The sport dates back all the way to the mid-19th century, and it spawned legendary athletes like Jackie Robinson and Babe Ruth. But analyst firm Gallup says that baseball hit its lowest popularity level ever in 2017. It now ranks in third place after football and basketball.
Professional football dominates. More people mention it as their favorite sport to watch. And professional baseball has slowly been coming down till it's just a little under 10% now who spontaneously say that's their favorite sport to watch, to the specific 9%, and that's the lowest that we've seen.
But even though baseball's popularity appears to be falling off, pros are making more money than ever playing baseball. And MLB stars are actually seeing better salaries and contracts than leagues around the world. According to Sporting Intelligence, the MLB has more individual players making $10+ million each year than any other sports league in the world in 2017. Broadly speaking, in pro sports, there are two basic kinds of contracts: rookie contracts and veteran contracts. For some rookies, teams can pay the minimum required salary, but for the veteran athletes who play through the rookie deals, they can negotiate for bigger and better deals. The best deal is a fully guaranteed contract, and the contracts in the MLB are fully guaranteed. Those contracts tend to favor the athlete. A player on a guaranteed contract will receive the full contract amount no matter how they performed over the course of the contract. In 2014, pitcher Josh Johnson signed a one-year $8 million contract, but he didn't throw a single pitch that year and still earned the full $8 million he was owed. And even if a player is traded, they'll receive that money from their new team. Unlike the MLB, NFL contracts are not typically guaranteed. And if a player sustained an injury outside of football, any limited guarantee on that contract could be voided. NFL teams and their owners can renegotiate contract terms after a season if a player's performance isn't cutting it. Just take former NFL player Albert Haynesworth. He signed a $100 million contract with the Washington Redskins back in 2009, but that contract only guaranteed him $41 million. After 2 seasons in Washington, he was traded and released by the New England Patriots and never saw the other $59 million. It took nearly a century for the NFL to have its first multi-year fully guaranteed contract, and that went to quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings Kirk Cousins in 2018. The MLB's legendary union has a lot to do with those favorable contracts. The MLBPA's collective bargaining agreement dates back to the 1970s. It ensures that players eligible for salary arbitration have contracts that are fully guaranteed. So why do Major League Baseball players make so much money? Major League Baseball also doesn't have a salary cap like other sports, which helps beef up those MLB contracts. That means a baseball team with more capital can spend whatever they want on their players' contracts. But the NFL? It has a salary cap of $177.2 million. The NBA has a cap of $101.9 million. In the NFL, there are 53 players on the active roster that are paid from the $177.2 million salary cap. Baseball teams have less than half as many athletes on their roster, and teams like the Boston Red Sox have payrolls that go well beyond that NFL salary cap. But keep in mind, those huge payouts aren't equally spread across the team. Just take the Yankees. The top player, Giancarlo Stanton, makes $25 million, but Justice Sheffield pulls in $545,000. That's because the MLB's collective bargaining agreement mandates that MLB players can only enter contract negotiations after playing in the league for 3 years. So rookies and players from minor league teams are paid the league minimum of $545,000 for 3 years. Player stats also have a lot to do with deciding how much a contract is worth. Unlike sports such as the NFL and NBA, where it's difficult to differentiate an individual's success from their fellow players, baseball is a sport heavily driven by statistics. There are a total of 71 stats outlining an individual's performance across all the team's positions. More accomplished players with great stats are seen as low risks for teams, and so general managers shell out big bucks on them. Then there's the number of games in a season. The MLB has one of the longest running seasons in American sports. Not including playoffs, the NFL has 16 games, the NBA has 82 games, but there are 162 games in an MLB season. Since MLB seasons are so long, it provides more chances to generate revenue. Coverage for baseball games is a huge market for TV networks, and those television deals play a big role in determining a team's income. Some local TV networks spend billions of dollars on broadcasting rights, which teams then use to stack their rosters with top talent. Just take the Los Angeles Dodgers. The team tripled their payroll for players after signing a TV deal for $8 billion with Time Warner in 2013. According to the LA Times, the team then spent big on players like Clayton Kershaw, Adrian Gonzalez, and Zach Greinke. And in 2017, the team made it to the World Series for the first time in 29 years. Even though teams are shelling out hundreds of million dollars on players in hopes of reaching the World Series, the sport is still dropping in popularity. MLB game attendance has taken a big hit in 2018. The league averaged just over 28,000 fans per game, making it the first time since 2003 that the MLB has not had more than 70+ million fans attend games. And out of the top major sports championships in the US, the MLB pulled in the fewest number of viewers with 18.9 million fans watching the World Series. The NFL had 103 million viewers watching the Super Bowl, and the NBA Finals pulled in 20.5 million viewers. But the MLB is looking to bring fans back by changing the rules of the game. The sport is looking to speed up the game of baseball, which typically lasts over 3 hours. They think cutting down on gameplay will draw fans back. But either way, the MLB continues to spend big on players. In 2018, teams spent $2.8 billion on player contracts. That number is up nearly 4% from 2017. And it doesn't look like MLB teams are slowing down on spending big on players anytime soon.